The information in this video is either nonsense or it is the most centrally important thing that you could possibly learn. It is allegedly the answer to the strange riddle of the UFOs. The information contained herein is not speculation or theory, but a condensation and edited arrangement of received communications from the UFOs. The obvious weakness of this contactee information is that evidential proof of its validity is not obtainable. Its strength lies in its sheer bulk and in the similarity of messages produced by sources widely scattered around the world. Over the last 25 years have produced millions of words of these communications, allegedly originating within the UFOs. Approximately 15 million people in the U.S. have reported seeing UFOs. More than 2,000 contact cases have been reported, and about 700 landings have left trace evidence. There is no longer any real doubt that UFOs exist. The question is, who are they, and why are they here? It is quite possibly that understanding them is the most important endeavor which we can undertake. There are thousands of people around the world who are quite certain that they know at least some of the answers to the riddles of these elusive manifestations. How did these people acquire the needed information? Their answer, one which many find hard to believe, is that they have been in contact with occupants of the UFOs. There has been a widespread and growing pattern of people who claim contact with UFOs since the early 1950s. At this point, the claims are so widespread that they constitute a pseudo-secret subculture, a sort of underground group all over Earth. I say pseudo-secret because even though many of these contactees tell their stories, the information is of a type that our culture does not easily accept. The insiders in this underground all seem to be getting approximately the same information, and they can be found in many places, both in the United States and all over the world. They are not all wide-eyed cultists, 3 steps in front of the men in white coats, nor are they little old ladies fresh from the medium's parlor. Primarily, contactees are normal people of average intelligence and background. Each year produces more of them. Few of these people receive or desire publicity. I've been studying paranormal phenomena for over 25 years, and for the past 14 years, I've specialized in unraveling the contactee riddle. You will find the entire situation regarding the contactees reminds me of something which the late Dr. James E. McDonald said to Congress in 1968. He was reporting to the House Committee on Aeronautics and Astronautics on his conclusion regarding UFOs. He described a situation in northern France years ago where many peasants reported stones falling from the sky. Since the reporters were dumb and unscientific, they were ignored at first. Finally, a scientist took the report seriously and investigated the thing fully. Thus was born the science of meteoritics. Dr. McDonald suggested to Congress that in dealing with UFO reports, we now face a very similar situation in science. We have tended to ignore it because it didn't make any sense. It definitely defies any explanation, and hence the situation has evolved where we can't get going because we aren't already going. Consider the case of Travis Walton of Snowflake, Arizona, taken aboard a UFO on November 5, 1975, in plain sight of 6 witnesses. The witnesses were given lie detector tests. All tests showed the witnesses were telling the truth. Travis himself showed up 5 days later. He was 12 miles from the place he had been taken on board. He had a story to tell that involved his waking up inside the ship and finding several very odd-looking creatures examining him, as well as 4 perfectly normal-looking human types. Now, these details are pretty solid. Dr. James Harder, Director of Research for the Aerial Phenomenal Research Organization, personally investigated the case and stated that he felt there was no hoax involved. The lie detector tests given to the witnesses supported the data. All indications are that this contact is authentic. In spite of this, the news coverage was so conditioned by the old ridicule lid of the 1950s that few Americans found out about it until months after the occurrence. Various UFO research groups such as APRO and MUFON put out many reports, such as that of the Travis Walton case, which the national press passes by. And so the underground becomes more and more certain that UFOs are real and are communicating with us, while the cultural community as a whole continues to not know much of the important data.